Alright, y'all, I'm here today. I'm working on this realistic dog sculpt again, and I have done this from scratch. I started with Z spheres, so not using Z library or anything like that. This is going to be kind of an interesting one actually, because I'm going to be sculpting the mouth today. That's what I need to do next. That's why I have it pulled up on my reference monitor. But for now, I'm gonna be sculpting. What up, George? Sculpting this dog. Working on the mouth. And I could extract these mouth pieces out. What I'm actually gonna do is make like a pair of dentures and then just scale it into the size I need it to be. So I wanted to show off this dog sculpt at the beginning because I think it's going pretty well. The like legs and neck and face are all like detailed, more or less done, and I gotta finish the back legs and worry about the torso. But before I do any of that, I want to work on this mouth. So what I'm gonna do is come up here, grab my brush, I'm gonna say switch, and I'm gonna grab a sphere. I'm actually gonna make a new document. I don't need to save the document. This is just like a picture of what it's gonna look like. So I can start this sphere, go into edit mode. I'll probably back this up so I can see what I'm doing. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice and zoomed out. I don't even think anybody's watching, but yeah. Alright. Oh, what's up, Nene? Cheese 3702. I'm working on sculpting a canine mouth right now. Working on a dog sculpt. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna start with a cube instead of a sphere. Let me turn that sphere off. I got my references pulled up on my other monitor. Always model with references. Always got a model with references. I'm actually gonna go ahead. I need to get a like nice profile view. This could work. This could work. And maybe I'll start with the lower piece because I think that's gonna be a simpler shape. Look at these canine dentures. Yeah, so the dentures kind of just replicate that bone shape, it looks like. What's up, Alex Morales? What up? Bonifacio Salas, what up, Lionel? We just sculpting a canine jaw, and I'm just getting started. Well, sculpting the teeth. I'm basically gonna sculpt like dentures for it. I'm getting some references pulled up on my other monitor. What up, it's not like me. What up, Joseph Lewis? Alright, let me I can show y'all. I'm just getting my references pulled up over here. I think this actually probably will work if I can make that bigger. I got different views pulled up on different tabs. What up, it's not me like 8. We just sculpting a jaw. It's alright. I'm gonna go ahead. How many points does this have? I have all my brushes. We will want X symmetry on, I think. Actually, yeah, we will. I'm gonna scale this out a little bit to get started. And I have all my brushes that I use a lot on shortcuts. Y'all aren't gonna see me switching through brushes too much, but I'll try to say which ones I'm using. So right now I'm just using the move brush, which is real simple. And I might actually put like a bend curve deformer or something, or like a bend arc. Nope, that ain't it. There we go. Just give it a slight tilt up like this before I start sculpting on it. What up, 2 shots? What up, Raina? Sculpting a dog jaw, sculpting a mouth to throw into my ZBrush sculpt. I kind of want to switch back to the other tool so y'all can see it, because that's like a pretty nice sculpt right now. But oh, son of a bitch, I gotta make sure symmetry's on. There we go. Cool. So what I'm gonna sculpt first is I'm basically just gonna sculpt like a primitive like dentures type shape for the teeth to sit in, and then I'm gonna sculpt the actual teeth individually, and then all that I'm gonna scale into my dog's mouth that I've already sculpted. And this, I mean, I'm gonna actually smooth all this. I'm just holding shift down to smooth. You can hold shift with any brush and it becomes smooth. God, that kind of looks like a tongue more than like dentures. I'm probably gonna like inflate all this. The problem is I don't want it to be too thick, but I can always fix it. Ooh, got my real dogs barking in the background. That makes for good content. What up, the only G? What up, Nick? Oh my gosh. Isabella Salazar. One Wake. Hello, hello. I'm just sculpting. Just sculpting away. Ooh. I'm gonna go back to the actual dentures picture. Yeah, no, so all this is going to be inflated, and all this can be really concave, and that's kind of where the tongue is going to sit. And I might need a little bit of geometry, so I'll hit Control D, subdivide this, grab my inflate brush, which would be like BIN, I think would be the shortcut, but I have it mapped to the number 3 on mine. All this doesn't really matter so much. I just need the teeth to sit in this nicely. And I think I might be a little bit too short, so I'm gonna just scale it out a little bit. Sup Sylvia6935, what up 13, what up 19, what up Vijay Mulani, how y'all doing? Here, sculpting this canine mouth. What up Donnie boy? Just sculpting some canine teeth. So this is gonna be like some dentures for it to sit in. This actually isn't the teeth, that's confusing, but what up Cora? So alright, this is kinda what the teeth are gonna sit in. And I can start sculpting the individual teeth. And you can see I got references pulled up. Always got references. What up, Anthony266? Just sculpting a dog. Just sculpting a realistic dog. I'll show you the dog real quick. It's proof. Switch back over to the other subtool. Alright. So now, for the first tooth, I think I'm gonna do just like a basic canine tooth real quick, because there's a bunch of those I'm gonna need to sculpt. So I'll go ahead, throw in a cone. I'm gonna go ahead, move this baby up, and then let's see here. How do I want to do this? I think I want to scale down the base, and I'm going to throw a deformer on this. A little bend arc deformer. Do something like that. And that is more or less going to be that canine shape. And then, oh, let me make sure we got symmetry on this too. Yep, there we go. Cool, and I'm doing the bottom jaw right now. So those bottom canines actually come out like that a little bit. We can do something like that. And then I'll move it to place on this side. It's always better to, I'm gonna turn off symmetry. It's always better if you're gonna mirror something to put it on the left side first and then mirror it over to the right. They've kind of fixed it in recent ZBrush versions, so it's not as important, but the mirror function just works a little better if you go left to right. And this sits all the way at the front. I actually think the way these dentures need to be is that the front will be just like a little bit higher than everything else. So you can see I'm keeping everything super low poly for now because it just makes it way easier to work with. What up, Jordanson? What up, Hayden? Just sculpting this canine jaw to put in my realistic canine. Doing fun stuff. What up, boy? Lady Joyce Perk. If you want to see the whole process, see me sculpting this dog from start to finish, well, not quite from start, but most of it, I do have the full series on my YouTube. Toby Thompson Art or T-Mosh will get you there. What up, Kevin? What up, Kickflipper Cal? I'm going to rotate this bad boy out. Cool. Yep. Just be something like that, and I can modify it, scale it, and shit. So, alright, I'm gonna start naming stuff. What up, Jossie Jossie? Just sculpting this dog jaw. I'm gonna put it in my dog model that I've already sculpted a lot of. Once I finish, I'm going to mirror this right now, mirror and weld, so that'll give me a new one. Cool, and now I'm gonna start naming these. So this will be my lower jaw base. Or, nah, base will work. Lower jaw underscore base. And everything that goes with the lower jaw is going to get that lower jaw prefix. I don't know how well I've been doing naming conventions over on the main file. We're doing alright. Just body and claws. Not that much going on. Cool. So, we got this lower jaw base, and we'll call this lower jaw canines. Lower jaw. I'll just use the letter K. Canines. What up, Melvin Granados? Just sculpting this dog jaw. We doing the lower jaw first, then we're gonna do the upper jaw. What up, user 774? Are you a robot with a name like that? My apologies if you're not. Made fun of their username and they're gone, dipped, lesson learned. What was I thinking? Alright. What we got here? Mr. Chrome, 4K. Let's see here. What do we got next for this lower jaw? I'm gonna have to switch references. Bam. Hell yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead. These teeth are way different, and they're honestly kind of square. So let's see here. Let me look at my references. I gotta get this shit figured out. To co-host. Oh, I missed it. Sorry, AJ. Invited to co-host. Joe, Secret Taco. Watch me sculpt this jaw. Here we go. Oh, there we go. I got a good view on my references. So, alright. We got the canines. We're going to go in with the lower teeth. These are more rectangular. So, we're going to grab this sucker just real quickly. Kind of get it the shape it needs to be. I think these are kind of tapered a little bit, so I'll just go ahead and do that now. Oh, that's not doing what I want it to do. There we go. Yeah, they're kind of tapered like that. and they get skinnier at the top this way. So I wonder, no, that ain't gonna do what I want it to do. I'm just gonna accept this. And then I'll grab my move brush. Oh, make sure I got symmetry turned on. And I'll actually, maybe I'll pinch this. So grab my pinch brush. There we go. And now it's kind of thin this way. Tapers in and out. Oh, it looks like the middle of the tooth didn't really come with everything else, so I'll just grab that. What up, Marie Yang? What up, Jordan? What up, Texas Ninja? What up, Jules? I'm just sculpting a realistic canine jaw. Oh yeah, kind of needs to flare out at the end though. Look at my reference one more time, and I think all the front teeth are kind of gonna look like this, besides the canine. And it looks like they got. Oh no, I see. Actually, it kind of needs to bend. Kind of needs to divot in the lid, in the middle a little bit. So I'm gonna grab my standard brush, hold down Alt, and just kind of chip that away. All right, I smoothed it out too much. All right, and I'm gonna fucking scale this down. What up, Chonga Queen? David Paul, Jules. Turn off symmetry for a second. I'm just scale this down. Let me look. It looks like it's about how much? Maybe about like half of what you can see with this tooth. So I'm gonna I think that's actually too big. That's pretty good. Alright, and then let me mirror and weld that, make sure I'm not crossing over that center point. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that, right on the money. I'm actually, I'll move it a little bit closer than that, but goddamn, that was not bad. So I'll Control Z, undo that, move that in. I definitely don't want them to be overlapping. Yeah, that's about as good as I'm gonna get away with. And we'll see how I do this. I might end up like separating all of these out and naming them separately. I think that'd kind of be dumb because when I go to animate it, like this will all, or rig it I should say, this will all just get tossed into one group. So what up, Princess Mimi? Just sculpting this jaw. We just sculpting this jaw. And it looks like the next two teeth are going to be about the same. So I'm going to call this lower jaw. How do I want to do this? I'll just call it like medial 1. Lower jaw. Yeah, medial 1 will work for me. I'll just call these medial because they fall in between the canines, and then the ones on the outer edge I'll call lateral. And then if I need to separate them out later, we could. What up, Ryan Davila? What up, Emily Shivy? What up, Medina? Here, sculpting this jaw. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this. Turn on symmetry, then I should be able to just move these apart. Yep, maybe I'll rotate them a little bit. Oh, the other way. Oh, and I also need to push them back a bit because we want these to follow the arc. Ahaha, which I did not really sculpt. Look at that. So I'll actually go ahead, grab my move brush, and just make sure this is following a nice curve. And then I'm gonna go ahead, I'll grab my medial 1s, bring them forward a little bit, sit in there, grab these. And these I think are gonna be just like ever so slightly bigger than that first set. However, yeah, mostly this way. Mostly on their x-axis. Cool. Alright, what up, Phil Laz? What up, David Zimmer? Just sculpting these teeth for my dog. Alright, and then the last of these medials, let me rename this one before I forget. Lower jaw, medial, oh shit. These are backwards now. So we'll just call this lower jaw, medial 1. Rename, because I moved the wrong ones. And that's on me. Medial 2. And then these last ones are going to be shaped slightly differently, but they're close enough I can still use them. What up, Monkey King? Appreciate you just sculpting this jaw for my realistic dog in ZBrush. I'm going to go ahead, duplicate this layer, move this over. And as I was starting to say, I think this last set will be pretty much the same shape. I'm going to move those canines out a little bit because I actually like the way these are sized. And the canine should be at a slightly different angle too, so let's grab them, tilt them out like that. Oh shit, turn my symmetry on so they rotate in opposite directions. There we go. Do something like that. And these last shapes, grab my move brush. They're pretty much the same, but they come to a slight point over here. It's actually like pretty similar to a human jaw, to be honest. It's kind of weird. Aside from the like giant fucking canines, obviously. I might smooth it a little bit. And I'll probably go in, I might even like re-mesh some of these in a little bit and try to get them more low poly. What up, David? Just sculpting this dog jaw for my realistic dog sculpt, starting with the lower jaw. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What up, Slick Rick? Woo! Yeah, so that's it. So I'm just gonna name these, I can call these like lower jaw medial 3. That's what they named themselves already. I can start working on this lateral row of teeth. I'm just gonna check the shape of this real quick. I think this is kind of wrong right now. Like it should be the thinnest at the front. This main base shape. What up, Amy Martin? Just sculpting this dog jaw. Yeah, this lower jaw I think should kind of fan out like this and get narrowest at the front. Looking at my references, I have that a little bit wonky right now, so I'm just gonna push all that out. Yeah, I think that'll be about where my teeth sit. So that'll be good. What's up, Jimmy? What's up, Racer? David Devine, Kaylin McLaren. Just sculpting this mandible to put in my dog sculpt I've been working on. Let's see here. What's up, Jesus? Hello. How you doing? Jesus, maybe. I laugh not at your name, but because people will tell me I look like white depictions of Jesus. Good. Thank you. I appreciate you. What up, Black Haitian? Welcome to the stream. Ooh, these lateral teeth get weird as shit. Look at this. Those front teeth are pretty straightforward, but those... Let me see if I can zoom in. Those lateral teeth get fucking weird as hell. Oh, it's not gonna let me zoom in further than that. That's alright. The first one, it looks like, is just kind of the same as the ones we've been doing. Maybe. and then it gets really weird. Then it's like a completely different shape, so I can't be copying and pasting no more after this. What up, OG Hamster? You see it. It's coming together here. Jesus, I'm gonna show you. This is like the main sculpt. This is what we've been working on. So this is much further. I've already done like the legs and the face, and right now I'm working on the teeth. So I'm gonna build these dentures and pop it in to this jaw when I'm done. But I'm doing all that on a separate Z tool just to work efficiently, and I'm probably, oh nice, thank you. You can see all this is like pretty low poly right now, but I'll probably optimize it even further before I finish. All right, this is I gotta look at my references over here. Yeah, this next one, it looks like it's kind of like a, I don't even know how to describe it. It's such a wonky shape. I'm probably just gonna start with a rectangle. So I'll go ahead, insert a new cube. Go ahead, turn on my symmetry by hitting the letter X. And I'm looking at my reference this whole time, so. And I like to just like sculpt out the tooth shape huge, and then I'll move it to the right place when I'm done. What up, Plasma 101? Yeah, this is a super weird shape. So it kind of tapers towards the back, sort of. I actually don't know if this is gonna work for me. Yeah, no. Actually, that is kind of what I want. So alright, we got this taper. It's nice, thank you. Like my voice, thank you. That's so nice, I appreciate it. What up, Jack? What up? Got bucket trotted. I appreciate that. You're being so nice. Jesus. Freaking making my day. I appreciate you sticking around watching me sculpt. Alright, I'm gonna hit accept. So this tooth does something super weird. It looks like it comes up in the middle. Oh, nope, whoops, I need to turn my symmetry back on. Comes up in the middle, further back than that even, and then comes out on the sides. I'm gonna smooth all this out. NP, okay. What up, that boy is Smurf? Yeah, no worries, man. You're the real MVP today. And if y'all like this content, I do really long stuff on Twitch and YouTube and stuff, so check me out on there. I think I'm gonna inflate this, yeah. And I'm gonna hit Control D to give myself some more subdivisions to work with, because this is a weird shape. And that low dev shit was not working. What up, Jules? Welcome to the stream. Let me grab my damn standard. Just hollow this out a little bit more. So it looks like it's hollow right there, and then pretty quickly like reverses the arc like that. And that's actually more or less the right shape. And then it tapers way out on the back, so I'm gonna grab, oh, appreciate you. Be right back, no worries. It's all good. If you can make it back, that's great. If not, that's great, but I appreciate you. Jesus, you are the GOAT. What up, user 95? this. Yeah, so all that needs to taper back like that. Grab my move tool. This kind of fans out like a triangle from this view, and that's actually getting really close. That's actually getting really close to the right shape. I'm gonna just smooth this out a little bit. So I'm holding down shift and just kind of tapping so it really lightly smooths it. I can probably do the same with this groove so it like tapers out. And that's more or less the right shape. The bottom of the tooth that sits in the gum would come down to a little spike. So I can like, whoosh, I can do that real quick by just like smoothing out the bottom, because we're not gonna see that really. It looks like about like right there-ish is where it actually ends. What up, Liz? We just sculpting this realistic dog jaw to put in my dog model. Alright, so that shape's about right, and this tooth is actually teeny tiny. So I'm gonna go ahead. Oh shit, as I was saying earlier, if you're gonna mirror stuff, put it on the left and not the right. It usually doesn't matter in modern versions. What up, Debbie Morrow? Usually doesn't matter in modern versions of ZBrush, but it's just a little bit safer. Sometimes there's some issues when you try to mirror if you put it on the right side instead of the left side. So just something to be aware of. It looks like this kind of like sits forward in the jaw like that a little bit, and it like sits against this tooth, which looks like it should actually, dang, I'm gonna change this rotation axis. I'm actually gonna reset it, I think. Other way. A little bit more like that. So it looks like this tooth that I just sculpted like kind of sits right against the backside of the other tooth. Scale that down on the x-axis. Yeah, that's a lot closer. And then this, I think I have it rotated forward maybe a little bit too much, but it kind of sits against that tooth like that. Let me double check my scale before I mirror it. Followed me, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Torino man, welcome in, welcome in. That means a lot. I appreciate that follow a ton, and I will definitely follow you back once I finish the stream, finish sculpting. Hell yeah, thank you so much. Alright, let's see here. I think I'm pretty happy with that. That looks like it's gonna be a problem, so I might fuck around and just ZRemesh this now. We'll go half. We can keep adaptive on. I'll hit ZRemesher. And did it like ruin my geometry? It did not. Got me down to 1,000, which is not horrible. Let's see if I can. I probably could have kept this for a projector object, but I don't need to do that. I can sculpt this out again later if I need to. I'm just gonna cut it in half again and see how much it destroys it. No, it looks pretty good, and that's down to 700 polys, which is, oh, even less than these. Jeez, I should ZRemesh this too. Wow. Let's go, yeah, just half again. Oh, is it worse now? Oh, it's because there's two of them already. That actually did make it worse though, but it made the mesh a lot nicer. So alright, we can keep going. What up, Mochi Mochi? What up, Just? Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that a ton. I appreciate that a ton. I'm gonna go ahead, grab this tooth. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna hit Alt A. That's what my shortcut is for this custom menu. And I'm gonna mirror and weld. See how it looks on the other side. Hell yeah. So this lower jaw is coming along pretty nice. Coming along pretty nice. We're gonna have to come back over here, check out my references. I'll come back over. What is that? That is a canine jaw. Gustavo Rivera, thanks for the question. So I'll show you, I've been working on this dog sculpt. This is what the whole dog looks like. And right now I'm working on this lower jaw that's gonna fit in the mouth down here. And then I'll do the upper jaw after that. And I'm gonna keep them all in separate parts because it makes them easier to animate and like put into a game engine. And just like easier to move around and sculpt and stuff, to be honest. Like if I was gonna 3D print this, I would not Boolean everything together until the very, very end, because working with a bunch of pieces is just easier in my opinion. And you'll notice too, I try to keep everything really low poly until I am done. I really try to keep everything like really low poly, and then at the end I can or not necessarily at the end, but just like once I know that like the main form is perfect, then I'll like actually come in and give them some extra polygons and give them a lot of detail. And I'll probably, like this one is going to be used in my thesis, so it's going to be like for a whole film, so I'll be working on this for months, and I'll end up like baking like my million polygon sculpts into my like only like couple hundred to thousand polygon sculpts, and that's a really interesting process, because you'll have something, I'll like show you, you'll have something where you can like see the squares like this, but then you'll have something that's like super smooth with a ton of detail, and you can use this object to make this object like look super smooth. I mean, it's actually like really boring and nerdy and dorky, but it gets me pretty excited. So alright, but right now I'm sculpting. Baking is a long ways off, and this next tooth is weird as shit, so I'm gonna go back over to my references. I can make this window full, that'll help. I'm working on this tooth right here next, and you can see it's a super weird shape, but really that horseshoe shape is like underneath the gums, so it doesn't matter so much. For the top, I can probably get away with just doing like a rectangle and then pulling out the top. So I think that's what I'm gonna try to do. So I'll go ahead, hit insert, bring in another cube. Oh shit, I need to name that first actually, because I'm gonna get lost if I don't keep my stuff named. The one thing that is gonna suck is I'm gonna have to copy and paste all these pieces over to my other project, and then like scale them together when I'm done. But I wanted to do this on its own tool just because I keep like a little library of stuff. And I'm gonna see, maybe I can show more of my screen. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But I'll like keep this canine mandible for future reference. And alright, let me rename this. This is gonna be my lower jaw lateral 1. Sweet! And then this thing, I'll kind of get the basic proportions of it right. It's way thinner than it is long. That might be too much. So it might be something like that. And this, it looks like, let me just double check my references. Oh, it gets like really flat. Let me look at these. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. It's funny, a lot of the time sculpting is like, I'll like look at something and think about it for like 3 minutes, and then it only takes 90 seconds to actually like sculpt it if I've done it right. These different views are kind of throwing me off a little bit. I think this is what I can do, and this doesn't need to be so big. It doesn't need to stick into the gums all that much. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my move brush, I'm gonna grab the center of this. I'm gonna pull it way up. Oh, nope. Turn my symmetry on. Whoops. That's not right. It actually kind of needs to follow like an S-curve. Part of me wants to snake hook it out. I probably could. You can see, look how fucked up that geometry is getting already. What up, Zulima? Welcome to the stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give myself more subdivisions, and I'm actually, I'm gonna subdivide it first, and then I'm gonna Z remesh this to get a better quad flow, because this is just unhinged, unruly. Wow, that gave me way too much. I'm gonna undo that. That gave me way too many polygons. Way too many. Let's shoot for like the same number. That'll be better. That will be better. Alright. Now I can smooth that out. So, this tooth, it kind of just like mounds out at the top and has like a really shallow curve coming off the back of it, but then it kind of pinches. It's weird, it kind of pinches in the middle. Oh, welcome back, Jesus. Yeah, it comes in to a point like that. I'm gonna grab my move tool again, so I have my pinch brush, and I'm gonna grab my move brush, and I'll even bring that way in. Like, this comes more or less to a point. I might have to Z remesh it to get it to do what I want to do. We'll see. No, you know what? I think that's gonna work out for me. Oh, and it's really weird. Like, this is almost like its own structure sitting against the rest of the tooth. So, give me 700 hearts, #1 gifter badge. Oh, you are my hero. You are the best today. That's crazy. That's what's up. I appreciate it. All right. Let me think about this. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be completely honest. This is like my first time ever getting lots of people actually watching me stream, so I don't even know how all the hearts and shit works, but 700 seems like a lot, man. I appreciate it. That's so crazy. So I'm trying to separate this from this form, so this kind of rounds out on its own, and then this flares out more than this structure. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit more geometry. I'm gonna subdivide this. I'm gonna grab my damn standard. What up, Darren Rowe? I'm gonna kind of come in like that. That's too much, because it's smooth in here. It's just like the sides taper off. This is definitely the weirdest shape we've had to do so far. You'll notice some of them took me like no time at all. On this one, I think it's been like 5 minutes on one tooth. So that, yeah, that's kind of what it does. But it's much, I'm gonna move this out of the jaw. Everybody can see it a little better. It does that, but that valley in between them should not be so large. So this is something I do a lot in the ZBrush, is I'll come in with the damn standard brush like I have been, and then I'll come in with the pinch brush right after that and pinch back together. And this actually works really good if you're doing like scars or like scratches on armor, or like really like big like dents on armor, stuff like that. Come in with the Damien standard and then pinching it together is just like a really good way to get that effect pretty easily. I'm gonna smooth that out, kind of taper that out. Yeah, and then this mound is way more rounded. So I'm gonna try to smooth all this out without really touching this structure at the front that we just created. So I think that's gonna work a lot better. I think that's gonna be pretty good for us. So that, I need to be looking at it from this way because that's kind of how I've been following it on my reference. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna check some other views. It kind of looks like this mounds down, but then ends on like a flat little shelf on the front, which is kind of crazy. So I'm gonna cross check my references before I sculpt, just to like make sure, because I wish it would let me zoom in farther. I'm working on this second sculpt right here, and it kind of looks like in between those teeth, like it gets flat before it actually goes down into the gum line. So I'm gonna look, kind of. I don't think I have to make it a perfectly flat shelf, but it does definitely like flatten out a lot more than I initially thought. So, word. Yeah, alright. So what I'm gonna do is pull this out and just give myself a, if that ever happens while you're working in ZBrush, it quick saves or something and everything disappears, just hit the letter F and it'll snap back into view. Yeah, so this will be kind of the little shelf that it tapers out into, and I think it kind of like fans out also, so it's kind of like that sort of shape. And I'm gonna grab my, oh god, I forget what it's called, I have it mapped to number 6 on my keyboard, H polish. So I think it's like BHP is the default shortcut combo. So I'll grab my H polish and kind of turn that into a shelf. Yeah, and the whole thing you can see is kind of tapering. I actually think I need to scale it out a little bit more. I think this mound shape is not quite right, so I'm gonna make my move brush really big and pull some of this out. 1700 hearts, oh my god. Oh my god. It's raining hearts. I appreciate it. You're the best. That's so cool. That's so cool. Alright. Yep, so I'm just gonna pull all this out. And it needs to be consistent thickness, at least until it reaches the gum line. So, yep, more of that shape. And then this can really mound out at the top. And I might have to kind of shave away these edges. There's this brush called the Trim Dynamic. 3,000?
Welcome, Proletarian Sprite.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even think I think I've hit like a heart in the past. I think I've hit like a heart in the past. 3,000 is crazy. It's been like 0 most of the time. I don't even know what to do with 3,000. I don't even know what to do with 3,000. That's fucking crazy. I'm dumbfounded. I got lost. Alright. BTD for the Trim Dynamic. This is cool. I appreciate y'all, everybody coming into the stream. Jesus for giving me so many hearts. That's so cool, man. This is like by far the most successful stream I've had. This is pretty rad. Yeah, I'm just kind of mounding out this shape, and I'll use my smooth brush. That is pretty close to what that tooth looks like. I think I'm just about happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead, just to give myself some wiggle room, I will grab my move brush and just kind of make the part that goes into the gum line actually follow that curve a little bit, just so I have some room with my placement. I'm still using the trim dynamic, not the move tool. Whoops! Still did what I needed it to. So we alright. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side too. I think if it follows this, what up, Rosley Charleroi? Just sculpting this lower jaw, this dog. And I think I'm about good on this tooth. I can smooth some of this out a little bit more. And then this bridge right here will be a little bit flatter, so I'll grab my H polish. Ooh, that did too much. I'm gonna make it smaller and turn down the brush strength. We'll do something like that. Be a little bit better. Yeah, look at that wonky ass tooth. And I wonder if I go low poly. And you know what, for this one, like this is way too many polygons. So I'm gonna take the time to duplicate this and project the details onto a lower poly version. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this tooth. I'm gonna hide everything besides my duplicate, and in a second the original. And I'm gonna put this on the low poly version, so I'll hit Shift D to get down to my low poly. I'm gonna go ahead and Z remesh, so I'll hit half. I'm gonna just go like as low as I can without completely losing the basic form. 1300, 955, because it's just a freaky ass tooth. What I might do, now that it's this low, no, I should reproject, probably. I should probably just reproject. Let me see if I can get a little bit lower than this. I think I'm getting pretty close. Yeah, 619. So 462. I might end up like manually retopologizing all these eventually, so it won't really matter. How bad is that geometry up there? Oh, that's just bad no matter what. Alright, so okay. So I was talking about projecting, so here's what I'll do, and this is what I do anytime I need to fix my topology. So right now, like this one I was working on, lowest poly count is 3,500. I need it to be way lower than that. So I'll make sure my lower poly one is selected. I'll make sure the only thing turned on is this high poly tooth. And then I'll hit Alt A and do, Alt S is how I have it mapped, and project all. Over here, it would actually be in your in your subtool, project. But I have it all mapped out on custom shortcuts. And then what I'll do is I'll subdivide this geometry and I'll just reproject at every level. So I'll hit Control D to subdivide. Now I'm up to 2,000 polygons. I'll hit project all. I'll hit Control D. Now I'm up to 10,000 polygons. I'll project all again, and now you can see these are pretty close. If I turn the old one off, I'm starting to get that little divot that I took so much time to sculpt back. And now I can switch between these subdiv levels too. Like I said, I'll probably have to end up manually retopologizing at some point, but like that could just mean going in and deleting some edge loops if I have a really low poly version. And then my high poly I can use to project when I bake the textures. So yeah, for now this tooth is really nice. I can get rid of this really high poly version, and now I have this low poly version that has subdiv levels, which is nice. It's fucking nice. That's what we want. So I'll shift click on this eye icon over on the subtool, get my whole view back. Oh, hide that sphere at the top. Oh, and this is, you know, a pretty boring thing to do on a stream, but I'm gonna take the time to save real quick, because it's been a while. So I'll go ahead, I'll bring this over. I keep, as I was saying earlier, I keep a little library. I actually just started it, so you'll see I only have one tool in there right now, but I'm working on it, man, I'm working on it. But I've started a little library where I keep assets I'm going to reuse. So I think this like canine sculpt will come in handy if I ever do a dog again or any number of like horror sculpts. This is like a really nice mouth I can just pop in. I have to go, but I'm gonna stay in. Jesus, you are the man. 1,500 more hearts. You are the coolest person to ever hop into one of these streams. I appreciate it endlessly. And I'm sorry if I've been calling you Jesus and it's actually Jesus. I just have no way of knowing, but I do appreciate you a lot. So alright, we got my base sculpts library. I need to actually delete the old hand, because I only want to have one of these. But I like to increment and save in case I fuck up. Co-host with 2 other creators. Why not? Let's see what this is like. I've never done that before. Who am I co-hosting with? I don't know how this works, but what up? I guess I'm co-hosting with some people now. Literally nothing about my live interface changed, but we in this bitch. And I appreciate y'all who are watching. I need to save this and keep sculpting, keep doing the fun shit. Okay, so I'm gonna call this K9. Oh yeah, I'm on it with a bunch of people. How do I? Now here's the real question. How do I leave this? I have no idea. I have no idea. I need to learn these live tools. Oh, follow back. Jesus, Logan McNeely. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let me see here. Let me see here. Co-hosting. What are my co-hosts on? What y'all on, co-hosts? I'm here sculpting this dog jaw. And I've lost the thread. I'm leaving this. I'm leaving this. Can I? Team match invite. No, I'm sculpting y'all. I can't do it. I'm sculpting y'all. Y'all gotta kick me out. Y'all gotta kick me out. What have I done? I've lost the thread. Alright, canine jaw. Save. Somebody help me. Somebody help me in the comments. How do I stop co-hosting? Match invite. What do we got? Sorry to all my Twitch and YouTube people. What up, Blowy? How do I quit co-hosting? This is the worst. Let me, you know what? I'm I'ma hop out of this. How do I do it? Let me see. Leave co-host mode. TikTok, kick me out of here! How to stop co-hosting live. Let's see what we got here.
How to remove people from your live without ending the video.
For being a stand-in for me to show how to do this on this video.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there we go.
Wants to join your live. They start playing their music. They start.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get back to my live. I'm gonna fix this shit.
This is how you do it. At the bottom left-hand corner.
How How to remove people from your
And before
live
it says
without
and button, you will click disconnect. It will not shut down your live video, but it
Oh,
will
I gotta
remove
disconnect. That's
other
all I gotta
people
do.
from your video.
Get me out of here.
So you
Get
don't
me
have
out
to
of here.
start the
Fuck
process
off with this
all over
shit.
again. You click disconnect, boom, it drops them. You are still there. Your followers are still there. You still see the comments, but it
Oh, y'all
just
suck. Quit with this
disappears.
shit.
This is how you do it. I hope this video helps you.
Quit with this shit.
Ta-da!
You're killing me. You're killing me.
how to remove people from your
And before it
live
says
without
and
ending
live
the
video
Disconnect.
stream.
or being a stand-in for me,
This y'all
this is
just
how
gonna
you do this
spam me with
process.
this shit. I hate it.
If you're on a live
Disconnect.
and let's
Go.
say someone wants to join your
Yes.
live
Get
and
out of
then they
here.
start playing their
Get
music
out of here. I'm
and
back.
start
It's just me. We just sculpting.
trying to
Sorry
battle and
about
they're
that,
having a
y'all.
conversation,
Sorry about that, y'all. We
disconnect.
back. We did it. That was chaos. Alright. Well, thanks for being patient with me. Clearly, I'm very fucking new at this. Oh my god, that was terrible. That's gonna be terrible on every platform I'm on. That's so funny. We still got people watching. I appreciate y'all, man. That was hilarious. They're spamming me with match invites. I couldn't disconnect. Oh my god. Alright, let me make sure. Let me get back to my fucking model. Make sure I'm placing this right. Yeah, this sits right up against that other tooth. And it's more like that sized. Yeah, it's probably about 2 of those. It's about the same width. Oh, I do think, you know what? I do think it can flatten out the bottom of the tooth, so we're gonna grab like that. I'm gonna go ahead, this might help with the people watching me on TikTok. I'm gonna turn this music up for y'all. Well, now it's an ad, that's hilarious timing, but alright, keep moving this sucker into place.
Can you please just hear me out? No, all work
That's
management
pretty
platforms are the
good.
same. They take forever
It's
to learn.
right
And
up
in the end,
against this other
nobody uses them.
tooth.
Monday.com is the one you'll actually
And
love
it's
to use. It
taller
lets you set up
than
your
it by
workflows
a
yourself.
lot,
No
I think.
admin.
There we go. No, that actually probably sounds horrible on TikTok. I'm just gonna keep talking. It don't matter. It don't fucking matter. So, it's like, oh, actually, no. The little flat part at the bottom is actually lower than that other tooth. So it kind of sits like that. Yeah, and then I'm gonna flatten out. Oh, whoops. Come on, where's my size menu? There we go. I'm gonna flatten out down here. Probably should have done this before I moved it so I could get the symmetry a little bit easier, but I think that's gonna work out. Oh, what's up? What's up, or Sable? What's up? Hi, May. I know that guy. That's it. Y'all like watching me sculpt. Jaime is a freaking genius artist. Y'all gotta go follow Ursable. Ursable. That guy's a beast artist. I don't even know if he popped in the stream for real, but I saw his name. Oh. Man, Jesus, you're back. You missed some chaos. I had some people invite me to co-host, and then they started spamming me shit, and I'm very new to this. I don't really know what was going on, so I was doing a lot of troubleshooting. I was doing a lot of troubleshooting on TikTok and finishing sculpting this lateral canine number 2. LOL, it was horrible. I'm sure it did not translate well on any platform, me fumbling like a boomer for some stream stability. Just eating. What'd you have? Anything good? Anything tasty? Welcome to the stream. I don't know. IDK. Oh, I have to delete my subdivs to mirror. That's a bummer. All that optimizing earlier. I'm just gonna have to get rid of it anyways. I'm just gonna delete higher. That gets rid of my subdivs. Ugh! Kills my soul a little bit, but that's alright. Mirror and weld. I'll just have to resculpt some detail later if I want it. And I can kind of... Well... Yeah, I can kind of work on these dentures a little bit too. I don't think I want them to be like so round. Just want a nice little shelf at the top of the gums for the teeth to sit in, much like human gums. One thing that's good, make my life a little bit easier, is I think the next lateral tooth is very, 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 very similar to this one. So I can just copy it and paste it. It looks like it's, honestly, it looks like the next two are the exact same. They just get like bigger and bigger, which is nice. It makes my life real easy. So I'm gonna rename this one. This is lower jaw. Lower jaw. Lateral 2. Got good shit. Monica Rodriguez, 2406. What up? Welcome. Going hard, going hard. Cool. So, I renamed it. I'll go ahead, duplicate it. The next tooth, I can just put it into place. Ooh, this one, actually, there is a slight difference because it looks like this one doesn't come out with that little shelf, and this is actually probably a bit extreme. So I'm gonna grab my move tool, flatten it, smooth it a little bit. This one, it actually looks like it slopes all the way down. Ooh, and I might have to Z-remesh that. I'll keep it the same because it's not smooth in the way I want it to. There we go. Oh yeah, that's much nicer. Let me double check. Yeah, I think that's about right. It looks like it fans out a little bit too from the top, so I'm gonna have to fix that. And whatever I'm doing, I have my symmetry on, so whatever I'm doing to this tooth is happening to the one on the other side. And yeah, and it looks like there might also be a little divot in the middle. So it'll be something kind of like that. Let's move it. Let me check my reference. I think it's a little bit bigger on that Z-axis. So I can bump that up. What up, IDK? And that will about work for me. I need to get that little piece of geometry sticking out, hidden, tucked away. It's been bugging me forever. And this tooth should be a bit more prominent than its counterpart, so maybe I need to push it up a little bit and just scale it on a couple of axes. And then the next tooth is like basically the same shape again, but huge. Yeah, like really big. And it kind of looks like I haven't really been doing this. It kind of looks like the insides of these Whoa, that's the wrong brush. Psych, that's the wrong brush. Kind of looks like the insides of these have little divots in them. Yeah, just something simple like that. Let me check that last tooth again. I think it's more, I'm trying to decide if it's more like that first one or that second one. I think it's more like this second one, but the way it fans out at the bottom looks a little bit different, and I think it's because it's like significantly taller and wider than the other ones. 5,000! Your hand is hurting so bad. Oh no! Don't hurt your hand. That's crazy. I appreciate your sacrifice, a warrior. A small artist supporter to the end. Bad Jesus. Alright, I think I am gonna go with this second one. So I'll duplicate this sucker. Push it back, and this one is like, it's very similar, but the proportions are a little bit different because it's much taller. Whoa. Ah, I see. I'm gonna move this axis so it gets scaled the most at the top. Yeah, it's kinda, but it tapers all the way down. That's fucking weird. It's kinda crazy. I think that might be a little bit extreme. So this slope comes all the way down on this one. And I might have to do what I did with that last tooth too. We'll see. I don't know. That actually smoothed pretty well for me, surprisingly. Oh, but on the inside it comes like way out. Like that. And like this. How long have you been trying to do this? Days, a while. Yeah, I've been doing this. Do you mean sculpting like broadly, or just like this dog specifically? Because sculpting, quite a long time, a few years. Just this dog, like a couple months. But I've been working on a lot of other shit too. So I've been like animating and texturing. I've been learning some 2D animation. But yeah, I've been working on this dog for my thesis for off and on for a couple months. These teeth I've just been working on today. Yeah, the dog. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think I started working on the dog in like May, and I technically haven't even started my thesis film yet, or like classes for it or anything, but I'm trying to just like have as much done as I can by the end of the summer. Me and my friends made this crazy film called Skillbot you could find on YouTube. And I did a lot, I wrote it, storyboarded it, I did some modeling, did some animation. I didn't actually do any texturing for the final film, but I like figured out how to do our texturing and like rendering style. And like made how-tos for that. I think those are actually on my YouTube too. But yeah, if you just looked up like Skillbot animated film on YouTube, that would give you a good sense of like big picture, like end goal, kind of like what all these little baby steps add up to. My thesis is going to be wildly different than that film. That film is like a comedy that's kind of like targeted at younger people. My thesis film is like a tragedy drama that's fucking not aimed at young people. Much more intense, heavy-hearted. That's kind of what this looks like. This back slope is actually also much more intense, so it still fans out, which makes it kind of weird. I might just kind of try to pull this down. Let's see if I can get away with that. I mean, it's really down in there. And this is completely wrong. Got my damn standard. This should kind of come around like that. Have a nice little divot on that side and a nice little divot. I need to look at it the other way. It's more like my reference. Yeah, it kind of cuts all the way across. Yeah, that's about what it does. This needs to come in a little more, and this can probably get inflated a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty close. Oh man, this next tooth is here, let's get this out. Just so we all can see a little bit better. Turn that fucking pesky sphere back off. This next tooth is crazy. I don't even know how I'm gonna do this next tooth. So it's this fucking giant one back here. This big ol' crazy yonker of a tooth. Can you see my setup? Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Let's have fun. Alright. I don't even know if I've been on this live yet. This is what I look like. This is my office. So I got this Wacom from my old professor. This is like the craziest purchase I've ever got because she sold it to me for really cheap. So that's what I've been sculpting on. This is my main monitor, and it supports 4K. This is a little old monitor that does not support. I got 64 gigs of RAM, which is really nice for rendering. I have an i9, fucking, how many cores? I think I have a 12 core processor. Yeah, I have liquid cooling, which is fucking sweet. And then I have an old iPad 1, which is not in my office right now. But I like really like drawing on Procreate. Procreate's the shit. But that thing is like, I think it's like a 16 gig or like a 30 gig iPad 1, and it's kind of on its last leg right now. I think I'm working on like what might be its last project. But yeah, this Wacom is where I fucking live. So, and like I said, I got this secondhand from my old professor. Steph Devoyak is her name. She actually does a lot of like big time Russian animation stuff. So if you look her up, you can find some really cool shit. This tooth is so weird. I think I'm actually gonna like start this one tooth as 3 different meshes. And here, we'll talk through my game plan on the live. So I'm going to basically just start with 3 cones, and I'll push them all together like the paintings on the wall. I appreciate you. I got this guy's name is John Gay, and he paints like beautiful deity women, but his name is John Gay. So this is my big gay wall, and then all my friends painted all the shit on that wall, and they did some like portraits of me up top, which is pretty cool. And then I got my like anatomy charts and shit. Obviously, it's like a must-have. And it's kind of dirty in here. Don't judge me. Like I have that shirt out because I was using it to sculpt, and my desk is kind of a mess. But you know, we're doing our best out here. We're doing our best. So, alright, I'm gonna come over here, insert a cone, and then I'll kind of just try to position these. Dun, 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 dun. What else do I got, actually? What else I got on my wall? Oh, I painted this one. Hell yeah, I digitally painted it. I did that in Procreate. Just like full transparency. That's not paint, but this is cool. This is Promethea back here. She's from my favorite comic. What up, Bethy Dub? Laura McGowan does some trippy shit. I like her a lot. It's my old middle school teacher, made Batman, so whatever. I ran into him at a Comic Con as an adult, my old middle school art teacher, and as I was paying for the Batman trip, he said, "Hey, never forget, it's never too late to do heroin." So, it's like, alright, thanks. You still teach 12-year-olds? Ah, great, cool. Youth are in good hands. So yeah, if you're tuning into this stream, that can be the motto. It's never too late to do heroin. Crazy, I can't even think of that guy's name right now, and I don't want to dox him anyways. He's actually like a cool professor and he's making a joke, but I was like, that is an unhinged thing to say to a student who you had as like a 12-year-old. LOL, it was wild, it was weird. What up, Red Thoughts? Dun, dun, dun. Just gotta look at this positioning. I don't think it's actually that tilted forward. I can duplicate this one more time, and the other one is pointed kind of back and is like way down here. Alright, this is gonna be fucking wonky for a second, but I think this will work out the way I want it to. I do, before I Dynamesh this, I think I'm gonna pull this down. Just make sure I have plenty of room at the bottom to sculpt. I can always come in and delete shit later if I need to. Yeah, so I'll take this, and right now this has a bunch of fucked up internal geometry because all these are like overlapping and nothing got deleted. But I can go ahead and Dynamesh it together. And now all that external, or pardon me, internal geometry should be deleted, and then when I smooth it out. The one thing about Dynameshing is it makes really high poly stuff, so you can see my smoothing like actually isn't doing that much. But this is all one shape now. I could also boolean it, but like booleaning makes shit in a different Z tool, and then I have to copy and paste it over, so I don't know. Pros and cons. I'll go ahead and just Z-remesh this. Hopefully I don't have any issues. Sometimes if you Dynamesh, what up Anna? Sometimes if you Dynamesh and then try to like Z-remesh, you'll get an error. And usually if you close any holes, that'll go away. Oh yeah, I'm getting some real funky shit. So close holes, smooth again. I'll go ahead, Z-remesh it. This is such a problem area down here. I don't know why. Don't work. There we go. There we go. That's the bottom of my tooth. Cool, and now I can actually come in and start to sculpt. I got my base form, I can look at my reference and see what this actually needs to look like. So, looks like Oh man, come on. ZBrush, what is happening here? Does not want to snap that side view. There we go. There we go, there we go. Alright, so now this gets a really, really, really intense divot. Back down in here. Actually, let me turn on Z symmetry. And my symmetry is probably off. Oh, no, I can't work some. Can I work symmetrically? Yeah, I can. My smoothing is going to be a little weird. So I forgot to have my symmetry on for a lot of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and mirror and weld. And you can see if you mirror and weld when they're that close to each other, it just combines them. And now I know that this is all perfectly symmetrical, and I can go back to doing what I was trying to do. Which is, so it looks like this. Let me try to understand what's happening here. It looks like this comes out quite a bit, and then gets a really intense, like divot down in there. And I'll do the same thing I was doing earlier, sculpt this out with the damn standard, and then come back in with the pinch tool and just bring it back in. Sweet. Smooth that out. Just kind of taper it off. And I'm gonna have to turn off the symmetry in a second to do the inside of the tooth. Should I maybe just do that now? I'll go ahead. I kind of need to do the same thing on the other side, where I bring this out and then create a divot, taper that out, smooth it out, taper it out. Okay, I'm gonna smooth these a little bit just to try to make them nice and round before I go out of symmetry mode. And that's actually, I mean, yeah, goddamn, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's not bad. That's not bad. We in it. So what I can do now is pinch this together. This is going to be the outside of the tooth, and it looks like I kind of have this edge running on the wrong. Or maybe I can just flatten out the top. I wonder, this might get kind of fucked up. Oh no. Alright. Trim dynamic tool coming in fucking clutch. That's crazy nice. Alright. 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 Let's see. Oh, you got me to 6,300? Oh my good lord. You are the best. If I ever see you live, I'll come in and return the favor. I swear. Alright. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna flatten out this edge with my H polish. So I've got some weird issues right there. Alright. Symmetry off. We done with the symmetry. So this is the outside of the tooth, inside of the tooth. I think, yeah, all of these kind of behave like separate forms, and they get really intense divots on the backside. Really, really intense divots on the backside. And this, ooh, this gets kind of weird on the backside. So I need to flatten this out. I got you, for real. I appreciate it. Alright. This is, yeah, wow, the inside of this tooth is like super fucked up. It kind of comes out like this a little bit. And this gets really, really, really flat. Oh, don't even worry about the money. I appreciate you being here, talking to people, hitting likes, man. It's super cool. It's super cool. Don't worry about it. If down the line you have some spare funds, look up Third Eye Genesis comic book. It's $15 and it's like the coolest thing I've ever worked on. But like honestly, you're so good. Please don't apologize for not sending me money. That's crazy. You've been like the coolest follower I've ever gotten on one of these streams. So it is all good, my friend. It is all good. Your time and attention are quite a present in themselves. Let's go trim dynamic. Flatten this one out a little bit too. Just get rid of that funky geometry up top. This got a little too gross for me, but yeah, I think this just needs to taper out, follow that angle, and that'll work a little bit better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright. So, no, this needs to be even flatter. Grab that H polish again. And this edge also gets slightly flat, but it stays mostly round. Teeth are so weird. In reality too, like a realistic sculpt, I mean, the teeth are gonna be kind of gnarly in a dog, so I'd have some wiggle room, but okay, for the inside, these need to be shaved down a lot, so I'm gonna grab a brush I haven't used yet, which is my clay brush. And I'm gonna just hold Alt and fucking just chip away at that shit a little bit and smooth it back out. God, that's pretty close. That is pretty close. Ooh, it's just such a fucked up shape, and I want to get it right. And I want to get it right. I think like that. It's pretty nice. Let me see here. Let me shave that down so it kind of tapers into that a little bit better. Alright, do I have a low poly? This is my lowest poly version. So let's see if we can't fuck around and get that quad count down. That's pretty nice. 2,000. I bet I can get more than that still. $1,100. This is the most complicated tooth. So let me see how much I actually lost. Yeah, I think it'd be worth doing some projection. Let me make sure I'm absolutely 100% happy with the shape first. I think I can smooth some of that out. Okay, so now do the same thing I did earlier. Duplicate this, turn off everything except for these teeth. I'm gonna grab this one and just Z-remesh it a bunch until I get it as low poly as I want it to be. So I'll do it, just keep going, keep going. Let me see what that looks like. I might try for one more. No, I think right around 1,700 is where I'm gonna want it. So I'll turn this other one back on, and I will just go ahead and straight up boom, project all again. And then I will add some subdivisions, project all. Nope, I think I just need to do that once. And this will be close enough. I actually want to taper that off, that's kind of crazy. Let me just see the difference. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can live with that. So alright, I'll delete this. And this will be lower jaw, lateral number 5, I believe. Let me turn everything back on. Yeah, soak. Very nice, very nice. I'm gonna get the bottom of this flattened. What up, user 884? And then I'll pop that sucker into place. Not so bad. Cool. Alright, alright, alright. Let me... Wow, that is a huge fucking tooth. It really is like 3 times the size of the other ones. Oh, it's gonna be, yeah, thinner than that for sure. And like, let me just check how much it sticks out in my reference. And it's gonna be something like that. This might be a little bit too big. I think I gotta bring this back over. Yeah, cool. Scale it down a little bit. Keep scaling it in too. I might have to remesh this. Look at this. God, this is a crazy tooth. Fucking dogs, man. Dogs are wild creatures. And I hope I can get all this to fit in my regular dog's mouth. I'm a little bit worried, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, alright. Peace out, Jesus. Peace out, Jesus. Here we go. Cool. Alright, well with him gone, I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the TikTok stream. You can see here, actually I'll go ahead. Just in case anybody hops on, I'll go ahead and mirror this shit real quick. I should have it over on the other side, as you've heard me say like 5 times today, but I'm gonna break my own rule real quick, and I'm just gonna mirror and weld. Ah, fuck. That's right, subdiv levels. That's okay. Whatever. I only have 1 projection level anyways, so I'll just del higher, mirror and weld. Look at that, it did it fine. It did it just fine. Oh no, this base object is on. We good, we good, we good. Twitch, I don't even know what's been going on Twitch. Just one fucking spam guy, it looks like. Just one spammer. Alright. It's got 2 more of these teeth to go. It's not so bad. Is that... Ah, ha 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 ha. 2 molars. We got 2 molars. And then we done. And then we done. And I'm gonna probably end my TikTok stream, cause Nobody's on, and my phone is dying. But all right, this has been a fucking good one. This has been sweet. This has been sweet. Sweet. This has been sweet. Hell yeah. Cool. Cool. I'm still on Twitch and YouTube, so here we go. Get this nasty tripod out of the way of my face. I might actually just like call this session too. The only thing I'm probably gonna do before what am I? I'm at an hour 40. I'm at an hour 40. I could do these last two teeth real quick. Yeah, the molars. See what the fuck they look like. They're really hard to see. Let me look at my other models. Oh great, this one just disappeared. Oh, oh, what? It's just gone forever? Oh my god. Oh my god. For real? There it is. That doesn't even help me anyways. Shit, man. Shit, I just don't know. Yeah, two little tiny ones in the back. Two little tiny little crazy ones in the back. These I think are going to be actually pretty easy to sculpt. So you know what? I said I was going to do a 2-hour stream. I'm going to do a 2-hour stream. I'm going to do a 2-hour stream. You know what I mean? Oh, I got 2 viewers. What a Twitch. What a Twitch. I'm just sculpting a dog. Here, let me show you. We got a new viewer on. I'll show you. I'll show you the main dog we've been working on. Look at this guy. But today I'm working on a jaw to stick in this sucker's mouth. So that's what we on. That's what we on. And I got 2 more teeth for this lower jaw, and it looks like I fucking have been doing everything proportionately pretty well. So I'm you know, I'm proud of myself for that. It doesn't always go as planned like that. I do think this needs to like continue to fan out, and I actually think this like might come in like that, so I'm gonna have to end up repositioning some of these teeth, I think, but that's right. Yeah, that's kind of that right little jaw shape, or gums I should say, that sort of follow the jaw shape, because I already have a jaw. Okay, let's go ahead, insert, wait, did I rename this one already? No, I did not. Before I go fucking around making new sculpts, I need to go ahead and rename the sculpts I've already done. So we will call this, shit, lateral 5? Yeah. Lower jaw, lateral 5. Hell yeah. Alright. So now I can go ahead and insert, a new cube. Let me just go ahead, like model reference for a second, kind of get a handle on the proportions of this one. It's honestly like pretty fucking cubey, really. It looks like it's a little bit taller than it is wide, but only a little tiny bit sticks out of the surface. So I'll go ahead, and is it like sheared or is it just rotated in the mouth? It looks like it's just kind of rotated in the mouth, so I can keep it pretty vertical while I'm sculpting. It looked like maybe like the top was kind of sheared, like that a little it's just rotated in the gum socket itself. So I'm just trying to think through how I want to do this one. It looks like, what the fuck? It looks like the way this one goes, it looks like this is actually going to be pretty easy relative to the last one. This needs to be even shorter still. So it looks like this one has some, like, comes up here and here. Fuck, I need symmetry on, actually. That's the real move. So it looks like it kind of fans out. Ooh, it looks like it actually does something kind of like that. Sort of. Yeah, that's pretty nice actually. It's hard to tell. It looks like, it kind of looks like there's like I'm gonna have to give myself more subdivs for sure. It looks like there's like 2 divots, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'll actually, before I do more subdivs, I'm gonna Z remesh this. It can just be the same amount of quads. Cool. And then I'll duplicate it. It's hard to tell though. It kind of looks like there's either like 1 divot in the middle or like 2 divots and a little tiny island that forms in between them. I'm gonna go with the latter just because I don't really have another tooth that's that shape, so that variety will be kind of fun. I do think, so what's weird, this like edge on the outside is so clean in my reference at least, so I want to like protect that. But then this makes like, I think what I need to do is pull this stuff up and give me some like wiggle room, because this turns into like a full on like flat ass shelf, which is, yeah. And then I might grab my damn standard and use Alt, hold down Alt to just like pull this interior stuff in. God, and then I might actually even take my H polish and just like, fuck, smaller than that. I'm just trying to get that edge, whoa, like that. So I'm holding Alt with my damn standard at the top and doing it normal subtractive, default subtractive I should say, at the bottom. And then I'll have to smooth that out a little bit. Ooh, it's a weird ass tooth shape, and this little island should not be like so prominent. I might need some more subdivs for it. What's my lower subdivs? Oh yeah, ooh yeah, we got a pretty nice low level subdiv version right now. These are also going to be like so small at all times in the film that I like don't really need to worry about making them all that detailed. Cool. And then I just gotta be really protective of that outer edge because we've done a pretty nice job so far. Look at that. Cool. Let me take a look at this again. Yeah. I'm gonna turn off the symmetry. We'll say this is the outside and this is the inside. So it looks like on the inside we actually don't keep that clean edge. And it does kind of flow down a little bit more naturally. And it kind of gets broken into 2 big masses, the way some of the other teeth have, where it's like this part and this part. I'm gonna go ahead and inflate this back up a little bit. I gotta obviously get rid of this fucking perfectly like square edge on the outside. That's horrendous. Yeah, I think something like that would be a little bit nicer. We gotta smooth that out a little bit. Okay, and then this curve can get smoothed out. Both views. Yeah. The only thing is that I made these a bit too prominent, so I'm gonna grab my trim dynamic and just like bump these fuckers down. Cool. Yeah, that's like honestly a pretty good little molar shape, to be honest. Let me see, this is my outside. It's hard to visualize because it's flipped in my reference, but I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty fucking good. It does look like maybe this kind of rounds out a little bit more than what I have it doing. So it's not quite so sharp. Yeah, that's looking nice. That's looking nice. So this is the inside. Yeah, I can honestly just like keep knocking that way back. I'm gonna fucking come in here and fuck it up. When I smooth it, it wants to go back, but there we go. Oh, whoops. So it's up the low poly. It's definitely just like fucking kill that edge. It's way too nice on both sides, to be honest. Alright. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So now I'll go ahead, boom, delete higher so I can mirror and weld it. I'm not even going to worry about projecting. I still have that little island in the middle. I don't really. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When am I ever gonna see this tooth in the animation? Never, but still, I want it. Let me see. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna have to come in and just like optimize all these. Or what I'm actually gonna end up doing probably is making a version where I just boolean all this together. And then having it so just like the lower jaw animates on its own. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, very nice. So I'm gonna go ahead, Alt A, boom, mirror and weld. Cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I just have that one little teeny tiny molar in the back now, which is like the worst one in my reference. It's so hard to see. It's so hard to see. Back down to one viewer on Twitch. Let me see here. Bow, bow, bow. $21. Oh man. It's just like a straight up like upside down. Fucking tiny ass little cone. honestly, do think I'm just debating what I want to start with, what I want my starting shape to be. The geometry of cones is just so wonky. I'm gonna go ahead and do a start with cube. Start with the humble cube. And it's fucking boom. It's like really, really tiny. Taper it. Like that. What's this? I don't know what any of that shit does. Wow. Oh, ho, ho. Yeah. That's nice. It doesn't really fucking matter, actually. Something like that. We are not gonna see much of this tooth. And I'm probably gonna want to get in there and delete a lot of that shit. A lot of that lower geometry is gonna get booleaned out. Okay, so this, it looks like it's kind of just like straight up like a shelf in the back. Fuck. Let's ZBrush this. So it's kind of, it's like cut in the middle. Nah, more like 2/3. And it's like these are just like two different like flat planes. That's one. That's one. I should have been doing this with symmetry, but I might need some more geometry. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it's doing on my reference. And I'm gonna just come in with the clay brush and just fuck up the edges a little bit and smooth them back out. This looks like it might be kind of like that. Kind of like. I mean, I think that's fucking more or less what I'm looking for. I'm pretty sure. Have it facing the wrong way. Well, nah, it's aight. It's aight. What I do is the inside. That's the inside. So I did it on the wrong side again. Let's do it backwards too. Let's give this a whole 180. There we go. Let's scale this fucker way down. And it fits barely behind this guy. What? It's quite a bit more rounded than I have it right now, so I might just like, fuck, shit, that didn't work. Let me just kind of, I'm gonna take my trim dynamic and just kind of chisel away a little bit, get this a little bit rounder. Yeah, and it looks like it kind of, so I was talking about earlier, it's rotated a little bit on that axis. These base, it looks like, can come up a little bit. Whoops. Wow. Nice. Yeah, and then I'll just boom. Weld. Shifty, I'll go down to the lowest subdiv levels. That still looks okay. Mirror and weld for real. Oh wait, get rid of it. Delete hidden. What? Oh no, not delete hidden, delete higher. I'm tripping. There we go. Oh shit, I didn't rename the last ones. Lower jaw lateral 6. Lower jaw lateral 6. Bam. And these will be lower jaw lateral 7. I'll have to do the upper jaw next time. Lower jaw lateral 7. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, I think that's it for me. That's it for me. How long it's been? 2 hours. We did it. Alright, peace and love. Y'all watch me sculpt a lower jaw today. I'll be doing the upper jaw tomorrow. That took the entire stream, but that's alright. Gotta do the upper jaw next. Those scary ass teeth. And who knows, I might not end up even using these. I might truly end up doing just like canines and then like a really like simplified tooth version if I decide I want to do something a little bit more cartoony than real in the end. But I don't know. My little Lulu in real life is a pretty scary, pretty menacing looking little dog, so I think having realistic teeth would be good. Let's fuck that up a little bit. Alright. Yeah? Yeah, that's what teeth look like. Cool. So, that's it for sure.